It's certainly a journey. It's a journey every day. It is the process of accepting every moment as perfection and trying to find peace amidst a very unpeaceful mind.
The modern world is trying to follow through on the promise of ego satisfaction all the way down the line, as far as it can possibly go. Still hoping that at the end of this road there will be some final and perfect payoff. That if we continue to upgrade our phones and continue to have higher definition video quality and continue to have more and more convenient and delicious foods, whether they're nutritious or not, that somehow at the end of the day all of this sensory experience will lead to a lasting state of satisfaction. And we just haven't figured out how to stop, or when to stop, or when to look in a different direction. And this is entirely the promise of yoga practice.
When you do asanas, your mind becomes focused, and when mind becomes focused, it becomes still. And when mind is still, there is no desire in it, and when there is no desire, you attain happiness. It's all about mind and controlling the mind. It's very hard when your mind is running like a wild horse, unwilling to follow any discipline, and it's very tough to gently rule, to gently take over it, and to make it listen to you, to make it follow what you would like it to do.
Yoga beautifully brings people back into their bodies, and it's to that aspect of yoga I really attribute its stunning success in the last 20 years. It also provides people a connection with the breath, and the breath has an amazing capacity to bring healing. Swami Vishnudevananda come and share a life and share a way of life not defined by one ideology or another ideology, but suggesting to people that they can find happiness within, that they can find calm within, that through the stabilization of the mind, the world can be made a wonderful place. That this interiority was a message very, very much needed. One of the great blights of contemporary society is a sense of purposelessness. What is this human life in terms of purpose? And with our consumer society, which can be quite glamorous, we can feel fulfillment if we have this style. And what yoga does is say, step it down. Go back to the essentials. Go back to your breath. Go back to your body. Because whether you're wearing yoga pants, or whether you're wearing a sarong, or whether you're wearing a three-piece suit, you're breathing. Your body is there. Your subjectivity creates this relationship with the world. And that rather than seeing the world as something without meaning, rather than seeing the world as simply something to be defined through our consumer choices, if we can feel and recover that sense of intimacy between self and world, then we'll have a sense of purpose. Now that means that each individual is given an opportunity, whether collecting garbage, whether washing the dishes in the kitchen, whether driving whatever automobile. That person is given the responsibility of being accountable to immediacy and finding a path, finding a way to see purpose, to see meaning in the most simple and in the most everyday. All Dharma is to be found in every single job. And if we can recall that sense of purpose, then we're going to move out of states of alienation and into states of interconnectivity.
I spent 6 years in the United States Marine Corps as an infantry officer in the JTAC. Went to Iraq and Afghanistan. According to the Veterans Administration, I have an 80% disability rating for post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury. Before I came to the yoga farm, I was very angry and unhappy about my station in life, and I did not treat myself or others well. Coming to the yoga farm has been an extremely rewarding experience because I've learned a philosophy, or I've started to learn a philosophy about life, which gives me hope.
Years ago, when I started to practice regularly, I could really feel that each morning that I practice, I can deal with whatever comes during the day easily. So by these practices, you connect yourself to something higher, to some guidance and to some great intelligence that comes through the mind. In Israel, yoga is very popular, and I will not be surprised if in Israel we will have the largest number of teachers per population.
A lot of need in Japan for yoga because in Japan, after Second World War, spirituality or even the religion is quite distinguished. So many people got purpose of life. We feel like we're becoming machine. We start to feel we don't have much creativity and things and no place express our feeling. And yoga is a way to bring us slowly back to our feet on the ground again.
The Vietnamese, they work really hard. The Vietnam War just finished like 40 years ago, more than 40 years ago. And now we are trying to improve our country, try to improve ourselves. And as I am the first generation of the Vietnamese after the war, we're very happy we don't have to worry about food, about the war anymore. But still, they had the idea that they had to work really hard to improve their life, improve their children's life. But because they are rushed and hurry, so there are a lot of stress. And they try to maintain their culture as well. I try to adapt the new culture of new modern life. I think yoga is very important for myself. Is the way that how I can find my peace, find myself, as well as I can help other people. I improve the consciousness or the peace, the happiness in myself, and try to cultivate it in other people as well.
I came here and I did my TTC in 1983. So 4 days I was with him. And he advised me, go back to Iran, start teaching yoga. And now the people, they need peace of mind and happiness. And the yoga shows. So 6 months later, I just left India and went to Iran and started teaching the yoga. And day by day, people became more interested of the yoga. In even small city of Iran, nowadays, there is a yoga center.
I'm an actress from Sri Lanka, film actress. I have worked in more than 100 films. Yoga changed my life completely. When I was acting, actually my entire life was in such a big pain because as everyone knows, acting is Maya. We always try to hide our real self behind our makeup, behind our clothing, behind our money, behind cars, everything. We are running for all those things, and without trying to focus into ourselves and find the true nature of ourselves. I was inside that Maya, suffering so much. You will not believe that I tried to commit suicide 7 times because I couldn't take it anymore. Then I had such a big knee problem, I even couldn't walk properly. And then one of my friends told me, why don't you do yoga? When I was young, I did yoga and I never knew the value of yoga. But because of my knee pain, I came here. And then within 2 weeks, I was feeling good.
Googlers as a community embrace all of the kind of things that yoga philosophy talks about. How to take care of your body, your brain, your mind, so that you can function better and as a result, bring out better products and services. For Hatha Yoga asana practice, just at the Google headquarters itself, there are 37 classes a week. And then if you add up all the other yoga classes that take place, asana classes that take place across all other offices, New York, Tokyo, Beijing, Sao Paulo, it probably exceeds 100 classes or so every single week. But that is just asana practice. There's also a very popular meditation practice at Google. And in being a search company, the practice is amusingly and delightfully called Search Inside Yourself. And the Search Inside Yourself program is actually the most popular training program at Google with a long wait list. That juxtaposition and coming together of an ancient practice, a 1600-year-old practice, in the midst of organization and technology and a movement that is much more recent, I find it delightful.
I used to be a flight attendant for 7 years, and it was a very glamorous lifestyle where I really enjoyed traveling to different places, meeting new people, understanding culture, experiencing the food and everything. But I always felt deep inside my heart that there was something, like an essence that was missing. And yoga definitely taught me how to be centered, like in control of myself, my feelings. I felt like coming into yoga and practicing it every day, not only the asanas, but also the philosophy, its lifestyle, really helped me become grounded and understand my true nature.
I was previously working as a medical doctor. For 9 years I worked in hospital practices, and I came to a realization that the most useful thing I could do for people was actually just to listen to people and to be present for people, to let them share and express themselves. That was much more meaningful and useful, I thought, than necessarily prescribing tablets and pills. So I recognized I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to be sitting in a hospital to do that. And at that point in my life, many things were changing, and that's when I came into the yoga field. So I feel here in this area, I'm able to listen to people and share useful information with people, which has helped me and I see is helping other people automatically. And I think the strength of this organization is that it focuses on basic lifestyle practices, empowers people right from the ground upwards.
The big HMOs and insurance companies are actually paying for yoga classes and meditation instruction. So that is one of a master trend, the increasing mainstreaming and legitimization of the yogic repertoire into the mainstream. Yoga in all of its forms is part of American culture, and it will stay that way, and it'll only get better. And it's terribly, terribly important now, because if ever there was a time in history when we needed people to have methods of attaining inner peace, it is in this high-stress, fast-paced, crazy-making world where we're constantly being assaulted by sensory input. And having the availability of methods of finding refuge in one's home whenever one wants it, at the neighborhood studio, wherever it is a terribly, terribly important thing.
Yoga takes us back to who we really are. Amid all the noise and clamor of the material world, it takes us to the peace which we can find within ourselves, to a stillness, to a state which is described in the Yoga Sutras as Chitta Vritti Nirodha, a state in which the constant fluctuations of the mind have been stilled, a state in which we have gained mastery over ourselves. When we learn to observe ourselves, the outside world no longer has control over us. Good health and happiness are the natural outcome. At the end of the path of self-transformation is the reward of true knowledge. When we would truly know our oneness,